Hey everybody, it's Scott. You're very welcome. Thank you for joining me. Everyone's welcome here on my channel and my videos. Tonight I wanted to just do a video about my thoughts on tarot versus oracle cards, which I like and why. So I've been learning throughout this whole process of like re-engaging with cards and re-engaging with connecting with folks and doing more readings that I'm really probably more attuned and more attracted to oracle readings and oracle cards rather than standard tarot cards. So yeah, I belong to a lot of tarot groups online too now. I've been watching a lot of tarot folks on YouTube, and it's been great, and have done some really fun things. I think for me though, I'm really discovering um, that these things are just an extension of my own intuition. So there are so many levels you can find yourself in, so many layers of this. Like if you go out on YouTube or online and try and find a community around tarot and oracle cards, you're going to find the collectors, those who do readings, those who love like Rider-Waite Smith and that system and that clone system or clone system. Those who love oracle cards, those who love angel cards. Angel card readers are a total different realm than I would say um, like tarot folks because of the way they kind of learned the whole system and the options they have. So I believe that like the whole Hay House Storing Virtue um, introduction of angel card reading and the angel card reader certification just opened up a new realm. So I believe that angel card readers as a whole are very different from your traditional tarot readers. Um, and of course there's overlap. There's like a Venn diagram, but as a whole, I think that they're a little different. They have a different way of looking at cards because they're coming at it from like an angel perspective or spirit perspective, rather than this like Rider-Waite Smith thing that might sometimes people might find rigid. I've also seen that in some of my videos that I watch, and some folks who are really good tarot collectors and really very much into Rider-Waite Smith's system, that they'll say, they have their own rules in their mind about, oh, this card actually means this, and I don't understand why they made this card mean strength, or this card means challenge, and so they've kind of like dug themselves into a system. It's neither good nor bad. It's just how someone else is aligned, and so be aware of that. And I really encourage you to kind of figure out your own style. The reason I like oracle cards rather than tarot cards is probably because I did learn, and I'm going to talk about this all the time. I learned the whole tarot system by picking up in 1996 the Greenwood Tarot. Revolutionary. The artwork was just really just struck me, and the system being based on the Wheel of the Year was totally in line with what I was doing spiritually and what I really wanted to learn. And so for me, images and archetypes really spur thoughts in my mind. So if I can see something on an oracle card like unconditional love, what I think really is happening in my brain and maybe spiritually is that there's a certain aesthetic to artwork and to these symbols. And when we pair these artwork and symbols and how they evoke and how they touch us, our brain also in the pineal gland, our pineal gland has rods and cones, just like our eyes have rods and cones. And this is my theory at least. I believe that when we see art or something evocative that really creates an emotional response, that does activate some intuitive parts of our mind, and those rods and cones in our pineal gland perhaps will activate. And so that's just something I intuitively feel. And so my brain is shifted when I get into an intuitive space based on this aesthetic of art or an image that just totally shifts my brain state. You know, there's so much going on in this artwork that if there's a specific question or a specific state of mind I'm in, something that's gone on for me recently, I have so much that I can grab from, and that this kind of a card gives me so much more information and allows me to just pick apart parts of my brain that I hadn't thought of. It literally shifts a brain state and puts me into a place where I feel more intuitive. So if I were to like compare this truth card with what that evokes for me, and like this whole idea that I just love cosmic images. I love this image of etheric and energy beings and energetics, rather than maybe like, let's just say, a Four of Cups with, a standard Rider Waite image of whatever that Four of Cups is, with your knights and your queens and your kings and your jesters and people sitting in chairs and thrones. That to me doesn't evoke my intuition. So for some people it might, based on the question, or some people can use playing cards, and that just evokes their intuition. For me, I really like the shifting of a brain state with an archetype, with artwork. I can actually pick up so many things from this and actually shift and think of, what is the difference between darkness and light, and how we cast shadow, and how every bit of nature has an aura, has a life, has a beginning, and what it reaches down into the roots. So it's there are things that just shift in me, and I can read these cards and interpret them on the fly, because my brain is in this immediate intuitive state based on how it's shifted, based on the artwork, based on the archetypes, based on the word that's portrayed in it, and using the question. And then I just go and go. And so you'll see me probably, when I do readings, that I will do. I'm not confined to spreads. I don't really. Sometimes I like spreads, but generally I find that if I can have enough information based on like 3 or 4 cards, give that information to someone, have it really shift my brain state, and have it actually shift me into an intuitive state where I can speak fully and from my heart. I think that is more, to me, more important than any sort of spread, any sort of system, any sort of like, fixed or rigid paradigm. So that's kind of my attitude about why I kind of like oracle decks rather than, you know, tarot. There's so much that I can do. I can actually combine readings. I actually did that free readings for folks with three different cards from or a card from 3 different decks. So combining something with an angel card deck with a tarot oracle deck, and then another oracle deck that's, the power of surrender, that's completely different. And so I have not just like one deck or one kind of archetype to pick from. I've got 3. So these 3 things can shift how I even see a full reading. So I really encourage you to just play and find out your style. Play and find out what really evokes the intuitive side. I really do believe that people are searching more for a connection with someone, more for connection to intuition and validation, and something that where people get struck in their heart. And if you speak from your heart, rather than just showing, here's my latest deck, and I'm going to show you every image, and I'm going to tell you if the box is really nice and how it works. It's all good. It's fine. But yeah, we've heard it, and I want to hear your heart. I want to hear how these things evoke change and possibility and imagination, and I think a lot of people want folks to go deeper. And yeah, we can go online and see a walkthrough of any sort of deck we want, but what's in your heart? I think that's what matters. And what do these things evoke for you? And how do we find ourselves in the place in the world of the cosmos that we're in right now when we shift our brain and let something just hit us. And I think that that's the key. And I hope that I do really good readings because I'm letting things hit me. I'm letting things hit me in the moment. I don't have a system. Um, I'm just, I have a little bit of some interpretation when it comes to tarot and themes that are more tarot-esque. So there are a few things that I do. But when I throw in an oracle card or two or oracle deck, it's all bets are off. And I get thrown into a different realm where it's like I just have to really emote. I think Enduring Virtues class, like with Certified Angel card readings, they call it blah, BLAH. Like you just keep talking, and what comes to your mind after you've shifted your brain state, based on the card that you pulled, pull those answers from you and from your heart, from the ideas that just start spinning in your mind. I really do think that we have something to connect from that goes totally beyond whether someone is adhering to a Rider-Waite Smith system or whether the card stock is what we really like or not. Um, you know, you can find people who just criticize cardstock all day. If you go to YouTube and find their channel, if they do a deck review, they'll always talk about the box, the book, the cardstock, whether they think it's a tarot or whether they think it's an oracle. I've even heard, and I like this guy, he's great, really great. I've even heard the term taroracle, of like a tarot card that's like an oracle. I think that's awesome, but I really want to dig deeper. I really think that people are looking for deeper stuff, deeper intuitive stuff. And maybe for some folks it's like just tarot readings and they like the system and they're in this space and they really enjoy it. That's fine. So, but if you know me at all and I talk about these things about being part of the cosmos, going on and on and on and on, that we've lived many lives, that we've lived more lives, that we in our dreams or however we can shift dimensional states. Maybe that's just what I bring, and maybe that's okay too. And so that's probably why I've kind of like thrown out a lot of things, thrown out spreads, and I learn every day. I think I put out a video about should Christians read tarot cards, and I had some information, some other things going on in my head before reading a book that I recently read, and then so even my attitudes about divination and things like that are evolving and changing from the Christian's perspective and from a cosmological perspective. We have weathermen and weatherwomen, meteorologists. How is that not divination? We have predictive genetic counselors. How is that not divination based on a system? We have sports teams and sports casting and sports predictions and analytics and all of that. We are constantly bombarded with things that are probably would be considered divination in times 3,000 to 6,000 years ago. But yet we call it science, or we call it statistics analysis. We call it weather prediction. So yeah, I'm learning a lot lately, and so this also thing has come to my mind about oracle cards, learning your preference. I really encourage you to play with it. Don't get stuck in like one system if you can. But if you are comfortable with that and that's just your deal, I say go for it and keep doing it. But for me, I'm probably just going to keep buying these oracle cards that throw me into the cosmos. These are some images from the newest one that I got. This is the Sacred Power reading cards. Totally love them. I'll just do a walkthrough of these images pretty soon in my channel here in some videos. But yeah, so hope you like this video. Hope I've sparked some ideas for you. Feel free to ask me for a reading if you like. And, yes, just be intuitive, be yourself, and throw in those things. And don't be afraid to do a deeper journey with yourself, with cards, with your intuition. I think people really like that. People want to see the real you. People want to connect with the heart. And that stuff goes beyond any tarot box or cardstock, or whether it's something adheres to a system. It's all about you and what your heart gives out to people, I believe. So, hope you really like this talk. I'm sure I'll talk about more stuff later. And have a great, great night. Namaste.